So now we're going to ask, and this is hysterical, how long should email blasts be? This is from Brenda Kerr of J&B Imaging Promotions, and she says she wants to keep people interested and not make it too long, but also need to include information.
Okay.
And so I have one thing, and then probably everybody else in America has another thing. Blog posts should be 300 words to maybe 500, 700 in there. That's how long people are able to remain interested in. My blog posts are about 1,200 words, so they're at least 4 times as long as they're supposed to be. That having been said, people read them.
They do.
Okay? It took me probably 2 or 3 years to build up a readership of people who like reading ridiculously long blog posts. Okay?
Okay.
So that's my emails that I send out are, now they're not complex. Like I was reading an email newsletter the other day, and this person had like this topic and then something else and this topic and something else, and like I became confused. Mine are all about one thing. They're just really long. So you tell what the real answer is.
And my answer to that, when creating a email blast, the answer is to keep it short, sweet, and to the point. Because like Tara said, the average person has a very short attention span. They're inundated with email. They have very busy schedules. There's a lot going on. They don't have the time to invest in reading paragraph after paragraph after paragraph. What is that popular thing right now? Ain't nobody got time for that. So you do not want to slam people with information in the context of your email. By all means, provide a link where they can go to your blog post of 1,200 words to get more information, but keep your email short, sweet, and to the point, and with a little bit of humor, as I think we talked about earlier, to keep them interested in reading all the way to the end.
Well, and I think that's very interesting, because going back to our let's drive them to the hub, let's get them to your blog, it would be very beneficial to send out the first part. Oh, I need to think about that. To send out the first part of the blog post. My concern there is that I include marketing in my emails. So I'll have some information, I'll have a place for them to buy something, and then I'll have more information to finish it up. So I'm gonna have to, I think there's something there to where we don't have to make it so gosh darn long, but I also wanna make sure I still get that marketing message in there. And you can do that a couple of different ways. If you're using an HTML builder, you can make a beautiful one. I make beautiful ads. You can also do a series of stars and then put your ad in and then end the series of stars. You're not sending out emails to be nice. I mean, I'm sure you're lovely people, but at the end of the day, you want them to do something. It doesn't have to be an ad to buy something, but it has to be an ad to get them to do the next step.
Correct.
To join your, if you have them on one email list, you might want to move them over to Facebook. If you're on Facebook, you might want to get them to your email list. If you're on your email list, you might want to get them over to your blog. You always want to be driving them to do something else.
I agree. And the things to remember, again, and you're going to hear us say this over and over and over as we talk about marketing, you need to keep it relevant, you need to keep it value added. Even if it's only 3 sentences long, ask yourself before you send it, is this relevant to my readership? Is this value added content? And another thing is cut yourself a little slack. If you're just building your database, you're just starting to send emails, make it easy on yourself. Don't make it huge and drawn out. Your people aren't going to read that anyway. It takes time to build credibility as an expert. It takes time to build a loyal readership, and the day will come eventually, if you're in your industry long enough, where you can send those longer emails and get people to read all the way to the end. But that is an earned response, not a given.
They're really long. Like, they're ridiculous. But I have that much to, like, they're not fluffy. They're not fluffy. They're really interesting. And you have to save them for another day, right, you guys? Like, you put them in a file, and then you have that day you read all my emails. I know you do. Right. But that having been, there you go. But that having been said, if it's something that is of immediate interest to you, I get answers back all the time that say, oh, thank goodness you answered that question that I was asking. But like you said, that was earned over years. And if you're just getting started emailing, you don't want to have that kind of timeline. Plus, I did it in 2008,
Right.
when there wasn't as big a playing field and there wasn't as much competition. So I'm not even sure now that you could grow a list that's responsive that way, the same way as you could then.
I agree. Yep.